Worth workers, hello! Welcome back to the Trust Your Worth podcast, the podcast that helps you tap in to the power of knowing your worth. Last week, I had the wonderful opportunity to talk to Dr. Macy Halliday, child rearing expert extraordinaire, and she spoke to us on how to teach children to trust their worth. So even if you don't have children, it was so helpful to reflect on my own childhood and to see the ways I can change the way I look at the hard things that I went through growing up and help me to find more peace. And I'm excited to help with raising my nieces and nephew and all the people that I just happen to mother and whom I love dearly. If you haven't checked out that episode, please go listen to it. I know it's a long one, but it is worth it. Please listen to it. Okay, in that episode though, Dr. Halliday brought up the stress hormone cortisol and how it can have significant negative effects to our growth and well-being. So today, I wanted to talk about ways we can reduce cortisol so that you can function at a higher positive emotional and physical state. So let's get to it. Cortisol is a stress hormone released by your adrenal glands when you are in fight or flight mode. So like you're threatened, I'm about to fight this person, or I'm getting myself the heck out of this situation. So that is when your body releases cortisol. So in the short term, it can definitely help you, get out of stressful, scary situations. But when released over a long term, causing you to have high amounts, it can lead to chronic diseases. So totally bad news bears. So these are the signs that your cortisol is too high. Firstly, chronic disease. Long-term increased cortisol may increase your risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, and other chronic diseases. So not fun if you happen to have a lot of cortisol going on in your system. It can cause weight gain. Cortisol may increase the appetite and signal the body to shift metabolism to store fat. You may have a lack of energy, or it may be hard for you to go to sleep. It can definitely interfere with your sleep hormones and impact the quality and length of your sleep. So if you find yourself waking up a lot, or you just literally can't get to sleep, you might have super high cortisol. Impaired immune system. So increased cortisol can make it more difficult for the immune system to fight off infections. So you just might get sick more often than others. You might be sick for longer periods of time. Just awful. No, I want you to be healthy. So yeah, could be high cortisol. And lastly, it can lead to a lack of energy. So it can increase your fatigue. So if you feel like you're just running on empty a lot, or like barely getting by, or just so freaking tired all the time, could be a sign of high cortisol. I'm not a professional, so please seek medical help if these things are like ringing super true for you. Get tested, whatever you need to live your best life and get back to a healthy state. All of us deal with cortisol because we need it to survive, but excessive amounts or high amounts of stress can definitely cause more issues. So that's what we're talking about today. So these are some ways that we can reduce cortisol naturally. And a lot of it seems like common sense. I mean, I don't know why I struggle with these things, but I do. So just know if you're struggling with any of these, you're not alone. I still struggle. And the first one, I still struggle with a lot, even though I did a full episode about this. So if you haven't heard about it, listen to episode 3. Number 1, get good sleep. You need 7 to 8 hours. Do your best. You can. I know sometimes you can't. It's hard in your situation, but do your best to, because your body heals when you're sleeping. It needs that time to heal. Number 2, regular exercise. I know it's hard to make time for these, but this is great because it says moderately intense exercise. So I'm thinking like a brisk walking pace or like having a little dance party or some like YouTube hit workout. Like it doesn't have to be super intense, 20 to 30 minutes. And this is going to train your body to meet the demands of cortisol. So when you intensely exercise, it increases cortisol shortly afterward, but then it decreases it a few hours later. So this short-term increase helps coordinate the growth of the body to meet the challenge. And additionally, the size of the cortisol response lessens with routine training. So the more you do this, the less the cortisol is going to get. So exciting stuff. Okay, number 3, recognize stressful thoughts. So we've talked about this a little bit before, but just name it to tame it. Like, hey, I think I'm stressed right now. Is there something I can do to reduce that stress right now? Can I act out of love or calmness instead of fear? So trying not to focus on the fear, but the reason why you're afraid, and then focusing on the things you can control about that fear. So when I remember that I have to work the next day, I'm like, immediately stressed because I'm like, I have to get ready. Prepare myself mentally. The thing that takes away the fear about working the next day is preparing for work. So I'm going to find out which office I'm working at, and then I'm setting my alarm accordingly because I work at several different offices. So I have to get up at different times for that. And then I plug in my battery pack because I have a headlight, so I don't have to bend super close to see people's teeth. So I plug that in, make sure it's charging. I pack my work bag with my work clothes and my go home clothes in there. And then I pack my lunch. And then when that's all good, my fear is done because I know I'm ready. I've got my armor ready for work. And then all I have to do is focus on getting a good night's sleep. So I reduce the stress by preparing for it. But if there are some situations, where you're just like, oh, shoot, am I really focusing on the stress right now? Instead of just being mindful, like even acknowledging like, oh, I'm feeling stressed. So you get in the habit of like recognizing when you're stressed so that you can take the steps. So that leads us into the next one perfectly. So let's say, oh, shoot, I'm feeling stressed. I'm going to take a deep breath. Deep breathing is really going to help you recenter and help you reduce your cortisol because it fires that parasympathetic nervous system and helps you to recenter yourself. So we talked about box breathing before. So in for 4, hold for 4, let it out for 4. And then count to 4 again, and that's going to really help you. Number 5, laughing. I can't even say laughing without laughing. And I got the giggles. Honestly, it's really late, and I always get the giggles when it's really late. So, anywho, laughing promotes the release of endorphins, and it suppresses the stress hormone, cortisol. So a direct counteraction, if you're like, I'm stressed, let's try and laugh about it. Sometimes you get in such crazy situations that the only thing you can do is laugh about it because it's like, it's so unreal that it's happening. You're like, this is crazy. Like if I couldn't write this in a movie because nobody would believe it. It's just crazy. So I'm going to laugh about it. Or, if you have time, just dance and laugh. Or talk with a friend. Go find your funniest friend and be like, yo, I need you to be clutch right now. I need you to make me laugh. I must reduce my cortisol. I laugh at everything. I laugh when I served a mission for my church and I genuinely trained myself to laugh when I was uncomfortable. So how do you know if I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable or I'm laughing because I'm happy? But either way, I found that I think I did it because the laughing did reduce my stress in that situation. Just had to laugh it off. So you heard it here. Laughter is the key to reducing your cortisol. So do your best to find ways to laugh. Cool thing is, it can be fake. Your body doesn't know if it's real laughter or if it's fake. So if you just start ha 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 ha, the laughing game, you can make yourself laugh. Either one is gonna create endorphins. So exciting. laugh it away. Number 6, supportive relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be platonic. It can be your friends. But connection and supportive relationships and being able to resolve conflicts quickly is going to help you reduce your cortisol. Because if you sit and stew about something, you are just stressing out about, I've totally guilty of this, where it's just like my whole night is ruined. I literally can't sleep because like I'm fighting with my friend or loved one, and I'm just sick to my stomach about what went down. And the whole night I'm just trying to think of ways to solve what went down. And I can't do that alone, because it takes two to solve the conflict between us. And yeah, I get some people need space and all that, but try to resolve conflicts quickly. Like, don't wait a week. That seems way excessive. In this article, it says that non-judgmental mindfulness led to a more rapid return of cortisol to normal levels following an argument. So trying to be empathetic to your partner or friend's situation. So it's important to practice compassion and empathy, and then find somebody who also has compassion and empathy for you. Because when you receive it back, it's going to help you manage your cortisol levels better when it's reciprocal. Try and find your crew that helps you feel safe in an argument. So like, if you need to fight fairly. Like, don't bring up stuff from the past. Talk about the issue at hand, what went down, and be truthful about what you want and need. And be empathetic to their situation and what they want and need. And take those into consideration and resolve it together. There's a quote by Thomas Monson. He says, "Never let a problem to be solved be more important than a person to be loved." And I love that. I genuinely believe that everything is figure-outable. And just try and let love lead the way. Support from loved ones can also help to reduce cortisol in the face of stress. So tell your friends if you're going through a hard time, let them help you. You don't have to do things alone. You independent peeps, I know you. I am you. I have been single for so long. It's easier for me in my head to get through things alone because I can do it the way that I want, and I perceive that my way is the right way, when sometimes it isn't, sometimes it is. But I need help. So please let your loved ones support you. If you're having a hard time, let them help you carry the burden, because life is too short and you don't have to suffer and struggle alone. There are people here who love you and are so willing to help you. You just have to ask. And I know it's hard to ask. At one point in my life, I went against everything in my being to not ask for help, because I was like, I'm a strong, independent girl. Like, I can do this. But everyone needs help sometimes, and that is totally okay. And that's totally normal. So please get support you need. They love you and they want to help you. And they will help you reduce your cortisol as you unburden your problems to them and work through your problems together. Okay. Number 7, take care of a pet. Science says creates endorphins when you're petting your pet. So many stress reducing benefits of having a pet and caring for someone and knowing that something in this world unconditionally loves you. That's so nice. If you have a pet, give it a little snuggle for me. I have 2 cats. My roommate also has a cat, and my other roommate has a dog. So we are just a house full of wonderful animals that bring us joy and sometimes so much frustration, but mostly joy. And I really do enjoy having them in my home because they bring me a lot of happiness and comfort, because I do love, having a little snuggle with them and letting them love me. Don't get me emotional, about to cry about it. But yeah, take care of a pet. Scientifically proven to reduce your cortisol. Okay. Be your best self. So this is what this podcast is about. The feelings of shame or guilt or inadequacy and negative thinking about yourself is literally going to add to your cortisol. So when you trust yourself, when you love yourself, when you know how worthy you are, your cortisol is automatically going to be lowered. When you love yourself, you don't have to feel guilty for living. You don't have to feel inadequate. You can just move forward in your power, knowing that you are worthy and that you deserve to be happy. Try your best to be the best you. There's only one you and we need you. So be you, because you're amazing and you're blessing so many lives just by being you and being in this world and being in your circle and influencing all these wonderful people who love you and know your worth. So I hope you also know your own worth. Okay, number 9, tending to your spirituality. Developing a faith can also help improve cortisol levels. Any type of prayer you want to do. So I believe in God as a Father in heaven who is watching over all of us, and I pray to him. But like whatever type of prayer you do, so maybe that be meditation to some sort of higher power, to the earth, to Mother Nature. Prayer really is a form of self-reflection and a time of meditation, so quieting the mind. And these things automatically are going to help you reduce the cortisol, because the mindfulness, the slowing down, the reaching outwards, that reducing the stress because you're taking a minute to just like not think about your stress really helps lower your cortisol. Yeah. And whether you're spiritual or not, performing acts of kindness can also reduce your cortisol levels, because, happy people helping others be happy always leads to more happiness. Number 10. I'm laughing because I know I struggle with this one, but it's eat a nutritious diet. Everything in moderation, awesome, but high sugar, high caffeine, that is going to just increase your cortisol. We know how to eat healthy, and yes, what you eat will definitely affect your cortisol levels. So your body's a machine, and if you're fueling it right, you're going to have more energy. You're going to feel happier because it's working the way it was designed to. Makes sense. Do I still struggle with it? Yes. Will I try and improve? Yes, always. Always trying to improve. But yes, number 10, eat a nutritious diet to lower that cortisol. Okay, and then number 11, certain supplements are going to be the best at reducing cortisol. So first one, fish oil, omega-3 fatty acids. It lowers your inflammation and your cortisol. Ashwagandha is a herb widely used to treat anxiety and help people adapt to stress. Ashwagandha is going to help you out. Okay, so cortisol in itself is not harmful. We do need it in times of stress to help us deal with the stress, because we need to react to keep ourselves safe. But an excess amount of cortisol is what we're trying to avoid. So doing these things will naturally help you keep your cortisol in balance. And if you feel like it is imbalanced, please go get medical help. But also you can try these things to help you reduce it so that we don't, carry that cortisol and change our brain chemistry and pass that along to generations. I hope this episode helps you to manage your cortisol. Every day we're going to be stressed, but we want to keep it within healthy ranges so that we can help out our future posterity and not pass on excessive amounts of cortisol that can be so damaging. Your worth work this week is to pick one thing that will help you to reduce your cortisol this week. So whether that be spending more time laughing with your friends, or spending time with your pets, or just trying to get a little more exercise, whatever you want to do, just pick one thing to reduce that stress in your life. Thank you so much for listening. Please share this with everyone you know. It really helps. And if you would like to ask me a question or just want to, have a little chat, you can find me on Instagram at trust_your_worth, or at the website at trustyourworth.com. If no one has told you today, you are an absolute legend. And don't forget to trust your worth. All right. Thank you so much. Love you. Okay, bye.